Welcome to the Redemption Life Podcast, a resource from Redemption Church, Twin Cities. Through these conversations, we aim to explore what it looks like to live a redeemed life, rooted in the gospel, formed by Scripture, and shaped in community. You can find more information about our church at redemptiontc.com. But in the meantime, we hope that this resource encourages you and helps you to know and follow Jesus.
No, you can't laugh. Start over.
This is the beginning.
Oh,
Sweet.
well,
Great.
Well, welcome to the Redemption Life Podcast. We're here with Junior Varsity.
Yep.
It's
Baby
Summer
squad.
Rhythms. And so Drew said, calling the backups. So we got here.
Here we are.
I'm Austin Miller. We've got here, if you can see us on video, we got Owen Bashaw, we got Alan Eliason, myself, Jacob Thompson.
Heck yeah.
We are we're 4/5 of the 2026-2027 Salt Company staff team. The other fifth is currently overseas.
Wow.
True.
Cody Benoit.
Shout out.
Mr. Benoit, yes.
I don't know if we can tell everybody where he is, so we're going to play it safe and not say where he is, but he's abroad. He's coming back in July, and then he's going to join the staff team. But we're here for a great little conversation to hopefully introduce us a little bit more informally to everybody that is listening, so that people at Redemption know who we are, maybe where to find us, and we're here to have a good time. So
Yeah.
here we go. Here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna just introduce each person, and they're gonna tell you a little bit about themselves, kind of where they came from, what they're involved in with Salt Company, and then we'll start asking who knows what other kinds of questions. Okay, so ready? Here we go. We're gonna start with Mr. Owen Bushaw, aka Box Combo,
That's
aka
right.
Almost Married.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Owen, who are you? What do you do with Salt Company? And how did you wind up on this staff team?
Yeah. So my name is Owen. I'm from Eagan, Minnesota.
Go
So I've-
Wildcats.
Yeah, I didn't go there for high school though.
Right.
Shout out St. Croix Lutheran Academy.
Go
Mm.
Crusaders.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So been like a Twin Cities guy, pretty much all my life, never lived anywhere else. Just like was a normal kid, loved basketball, just hung out with my friends, and then ended up going to school. I took a gap year actually my freshman year, but I had some friends who were older that got me connected with Salt Company at the University of Minnesota. And so then I met Austin pretty quickly after that, and we got coffee probably in October of 2021, and then
Yeah, man.
just got super plugged in. And
Was it Dogwood?
it was not Dogwood. He came to Eagan,
Yeah, man.
to
Vendella.
Vendella
Ooh, shout
Coffee
out
Shop.
Vendella, that's
Really?
Is it? It's
You
a
been
cool
there, Alan?
I've been there.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool. They got
nice.
a motorcycle on the wall.
That's cool.
They got like all types of instruments that you can just take off the wall and play
Nice.
in the coffee shop. It's
Do you
great.
do that?
Do I do that? I don't have any musical gifts. So
Maybe, I mean, can you play guitar?
I tried.
How'd it go?
It's fine. Well, you just
That
strum
might
with
be
your
hard.
you just strum with your right hand.
Yeah, there you go.
So I guess
So,
this is a good place
This
to
is the right
interject.
time. This is the right time to tell everybody.
This is the right time to interject. I have 4 fingers on my right hand.
This is why
This
his
is
AKA Box Combo.
box
Fill
combo,
'em in.
Yep.
4-finger combo from Canes. I got that in high school. That nickname came about when I was at the free throw line. They would chant that.
Wow.
Like opposing teams?
No, our student section.
And you just started salivating.
Yeah.
because-
Well, I was a decent free throw shooter, so it worked.
Okay.
But my grandma came up to me once after the game and was like, "Are you getting bullied?" And I was like, "No." And kind of from that moment on, all 4-finger jokes are on the table. So,
Including right now.
including right now.
Good.
And so yeah, if you guys have any for the rest of the time, see who can make the best one. But no, and then so I started interning actually. My junior year of college.
Right.
The staff team was under a huge transition, and Austin was like, "You want to help me out?" And I was like, "I would love to help you out."
Dude, that was such a fun time.
So I bounced around a couple different schools. I was at Northwestern for a year, and then I did online school through Spurgeon College. But I just got to hang out here. And then Austin was like, "Do you want to stick around?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of want to keep being a college student, low key." So
Yeah.
yeah, now I'm just hanging out. I'm getting married in 19 days.
Let's go,
Amen.
dude.
I like that.
Yeah, was that everything? Oh, what I do?
Yeah,
for
what's
Salt
what's
Company,
your
yeah.
like title with Salt Company, and what does that mean that you do just kind of
Yeah.
on the regular?
Yeah, so I'm the freshman ministry leader. And so essentially what that means is kind of all things freshmen, helping them get plugged into the ministry, outreaching to them. So going to campus, mission to campus is kind of my wheelhouse. So that's kind of during welcome week on each of the campuses, just intentionally reaching the new students on campus and reaching them with the gospel, creating friendships with them and inviting them to kick off. Freshman Fridays, freshman retreat, those are just like freshman specific things. And then I'll help Jacob teach Gospel 101, Alan too. We'll all teach that. And then just like the normal Salt Company stuff, leading D groups and doing random stuff, whatever is up for that specific season. So
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, I think that's helpful for people to know. Okay, on to the next person, Mr. Alan Eliason, a.k.a. Iceman, a.k.a. Van Man, a.k.a. Florida Man.
AKA Bunky Man.
If you know, you know. What's up, everybody? I'm Alan. How did I get here? I'm originally from Florida, born and raised in the Tampa Bay area. I went to college at the University of Florida. That's where I found Salt Company. Shout out my Salt Company people in Gainesville. Hi,
You think they're listening to this?
Definitely not. Hey guys, I'm on a podcast.
You should send them the link, bro.
Yeah. So went to the University of Florida for 4 years. I wanted to be a physical therapist, and now I work in ministry. So life is great. I'd much rather be here than in an office. But anyways, love my job. I am a ministry resident, so I'm the most JV person on this team. But that encompasses a lot of things. I kind of dibble and dabble everywhere. So sometimes I'll dibble in our global ministry, helping Jacob and Sydney out. Sometimes I'll help out Owen with freshman ministry. I might preach if Austin lets me.
Yeah, bro. Hey, you preached Romans 8 this past.
That was great.
This
I
past
did.
spring.
I
That
did.
was awesome,
Pretty
man.
fun. Very thankful. So I'm kind of a little bit everywhere. So my day-to-day looks different every day, but I'm very thankful that it does, because that's what I love about my job. So I might be meeting up with our students. I might be meeting up with my D groups. I might be going out on campus and doing outreach. I do a lot, but it's fun and it's great. So entering into my second year in like literally a month. So I'm super excited, and yeah, love it here.
It's great, dude. It's great. All right, let's go to Jacob. So Jacob Thompson, aka the Christian Man, aka CrossFit King, aka wiffle ball defensive player of the game.
Thank you.
Jacob Thompson.
Had some good plays. That was fun. My name's Jacob. I am the ministry leader, equipping ministry leader at Salt Company Twin Cities, which means I get to work on a lot of the behind the scenes equipping stuff, D group leaders, D groups, C groups, create classes, Gospel 101, Story of the Blood, Gospel 201, probably this upcoming year. We'll see. I don't know. Love being able to do what I get to do. I became a Christian through Salt Company at Iowa State. It was actually when Redemption Church was being planted that I came to faith. So that spring that they were sending Jordan Adams out of Salt Company Ames is when faith became like real to me. So I think pretty early into my sophomore year is when I felt that call to ministry and really pursued Salt leadership a ton. Went to Christian camps, went overseas with Salt Company, and then was like, senior year, all right, this is when I get asked to be a resident with Salt Company. That's like the pipeline, right? And was actually told no by the director in Ames at the time to not work for Salt Company. So was super discouraged in that. Tried to pursue long-term ministry overseas, and that was 2019. Something crazy happened in 2020. Called COVID, where I was fully fundraised to go back for 2 years of commitment. Ended up not going on for 2 years. Team was kind of stateside and started dating a girl named Ashley at the time. And against my team leader's guidance, started dating her. And then in that season, they kind of came to all of us and they're like, hey, COVID's happening. You probably aren't going to go to China. And it probably won't be for a couple more years and you need to fundraise more money. And I'm thinking, well, I just start dating this really pretty girl from Iowa. Can I step off the team? They honored that request. So then me and Ashley went on to get married and moved out to Columbus, Ohio, where we helped start the salt company out there, Ohio State. So we were there for 3 years. I got my master's in theological studies at Spurgeon College. And then Ashley got her degree as a physician assistant at Kettering College in Dayton, Ohio. And then as soon as she finished school was when the opportunity came for me to start working at what was Salt St. Paul, now Salt Twin Cities. So interesting thing about me, I don't know if there's been more people who have been at more salt companies than I have. Salt Company Ames.
Yep.
Salt Company in Ankeny, DMAC, go Bears.
D-Mac.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio State, Salt St. Paul, and now Salt Twin Cities.
Sure.
Wow.
That's
Been
a
around,
lot.
bro.
You decorated, bro.
Decorated.
Well traveled.
We
Well
gotta get
traveled.
you like a varsity letter jacket
For the
Yo.
JV
just have
team.
like the for the JV team, and just have like pins.
Yeah. All the
Well,
places.
And that's something that's interesting. Now you've been here, aside from probably Iowa State, right?
Mhm.
While you were a student, you've been here the longest.
Well,
of those
we were at
other
a- we were
ones that you
actually- we were at-
traveled, is that right?
We were in Columbus for 3 years.
Oh, nice. Okay, great.
So-
And how long have you been here?
This will be 2 years in July.
Dang, it feels like you've been here for some. I think. Okay,
Feels like forever.
the thing that I love about hanging with you guys and our staff team as a whole, Salt Company staff team, is that we've made so many good memories with each other.
yeah.
And we've gotten relationally tight with each other that it feels like we've been doing this for a long time. And I just love the friendships that we've got and the trust that we've got between each other. And it's a privilege to do ministry with you guys, And summer is especially helpful for the staff team, for us to get time like this, kind of shoulder to shoulder, face to face, and chat, make memories and whatnot. Because for anybody that's listening, you guys might not even know all that much about what is Salt Company, like what do we really do, and how is it connected with Redemption Church. And we follow the college schedule, so like the summertime we're kind of down low, we're kind of chilling a little bit. We'll do some midweek services here in July, but even those are a little bit more chill. But then kind of September through middle of December, we're running quick, reaching students for that fall semester, and then we'll take a break over Christmas break, and then we pick it up in kind of end of January and go through kind of the month of April, and then we're done in May. So then like May through August, we're resting, we're spending time with the staff, we're reading, we're praying, and we're preparing for the next year of ministry. And so that's kind of the phase of the season that we're in right now, but it proves to be incredibly helpful for us to just enjoy each other's presence, because the year gets busy. But okay, I feel like I don't know if I should do an intro for me. I feel like most people, well, maybe they don't know how I became a staff member. I don't know if I've shared that on the podcast before, but okay, my name's Austin. I am the director of Salt Company Twin Cities, which is still funny to me because when I was a freshman at the University of Minnesota, it was 2017, and that's the year that Salt Company was planted here. So Jordan Adams was sent up here with Drew and the team, and Jordan Adams was leading Salt Company, and he was preaching a sermon in the Northrop Auditorium, Best Buy Theater upstairs, and that was the first time I went to Salt Company. It was, I don't know what week of the semester it was, but I showed up and I fell asleep during the sermon. That's my glorious moment, my glorious introduction to Salt Company. I just fell asleep, which is hilarious. I think that's why it's funny that I'm the director, because for sure there are some students that fall asleep when I'm preaching. Who knows? That's my guess. And I have so much compassion for those people. But anyway, 2017 was a freshman, super flaky freshman, but Jesus just took a hold of my heart when I was a student. And I was able to be a student leader at some point, go overseas, went to China.
Yep.
And came back, became friends with the staff team at the time, and was offered a job. I started by being an intern doing some like graphic design stuff, and then eventually was doing freshman ministry, was a resident, and now over the years it has now been 5 years of being on staff for me, which is insane. So I feel like an old guy. But it's been amazing, guys, to see God's faithfulness through just like the way the staff team has changed over the years. It's been interesting to look back and see like, okay, over the course of from 2017 until now, the staff team has literally looked very different every single year. And that's some of the nature of college ministry, is that there tends to be a lot of change year after year. But to see God's faithfulness every single year, like no matter who's on the leadership team, no matter who's the director, who's leading freshmen, who's leading the leaders, who the residents are, like God has just been gracious to Salt Company to continue reaching lost students, saving them by his grace through the gospel, and raising them up to be the next, husbands and wives and moms and dads and workers throughout the cities. So it's been an honor to be a part of it. But it's funny to think about this room and us guys as we're here working for Salt Company right now and doing gospel ministry to college students. But who knows how long we're going to be here holding the titles that we hold. And one day it'll be true that our names will be kind of forgotten. And the gospel will continue to go forward. And I think that's fun to think about. We're super not in this for us, but it's just a privilege to be kind of a link in the chain of gospel ministry to the Twin Cities. So here's a question I have for you guys. When you guys think of Salt Company Twin Cities and the gospel witness that we are trying to bring to the Twin Cities on the college campus, what are a couple of dreams that you guys have? What are some things that get you excited about reaching the specific campuses that are in the Twin Cities? Do you have specific things that you're like, man, I'm praying for this, or I would love to see this happen within the Twin Cities college students?
Well, I think over the years, it's been obvious that there have been like really amazing moves of God at some of the larger schools, University of Minnesota, University of St. Thomas.
Right.
That's been really, really cool. And I got to be like a beneficiary of that.
Yeah.
When I was just like a fake gopher,
Lived in Dinkytown, but was not going to school there.
Yeah. But I think too, they're just, from my perspective, are not that many opportunities for students at some of these smaller schools to get plugged into a gospel-centered ministry.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking schools like Hamlin, Augsburg.
Yep.
We have our Christian schools, Bethel, Northwestern, that are awesome. But, some of the smaller schools that are just like hurting, students might go in as Christians, but there's just like nothing that's like supporting them.
Yeah.
And there really is not, or hasn't been, like an evangelistic ministry to go reach them. And so I'm just excited for God to continue to kind of establish a ministry that is going towards them.
Right.
And a place that students can, in their freshman year specifically, like first semester consistently I see just like sucks for a lot of students coming in. And then second semester, they're like, something's got to change. And the answer to that problem so often, always, but so often that people realize is Jesus as their Savior and their Lord, and gospel friendships on campuses. And that's what I'm excited to continue to see happen, especially on some of these smaller campuses.
That's so cool, dude. I think this has reminded me of one of my favorite things that I ever heard a college student say about Salt Company. I think this was 2 years ago. I heard from one of our student leaders, they were reflecting on how they met somebody that had come to Salt Company for the first time. And somehow or another, they were talking about how they found Salt Company, and they were leaving after a Thursday night. And they said to this student leader, "Oh, I think this is the place where I can find friends." That was the quote. Like, that was their reflection of coming to Salt Company, and then meeting this student leader was like, friendship is here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I loved that so much because I think you're so right, Owen, that man, college is such a pivotal time in everybody's life, and the trajectory of someone's life is oftentimes determined about what happens within those 4 to 5
Totally.
years. And you just need good gospel-centered friendships to set you up for the next phase of life. And that made me so happy to know that that person came and left from Salt Company believing, oh, I can find good friendships here. And yeah, I think that's just super important. And we're seeing that, dude, on these small campuses. By
Yeah.
God's grace,
Yeah.
there are student leaders being raised up to lead campus groups at like McAllister. I'm thinking of, that's a sweet school that a
Mhm.
couple guys are going to start to lead there for the first time this fall. And man, so God's moving, and it's fun to be a part of that. Yeah. How about you guys? You guys have any things about, Salt Company that you're hoping to see and praying for?
I would say, just like more diversity, I feel. And like Tammy's always told me this, like diversity is like a fruit of the gospel. And like we're called to make disciples of all nations in Matthew 28, and which talks about diversity in that regard. And I think for me, just to pray would just like to see Salt Company grow in that way, and just like see more like ethnic groups come to Salt Company on a Thursday night. And I feel like that's important, especially to me. Like there's students of like certain ethnic groups that will come to Salt Company and they're like, I really don't feel seen, or they want to feel seen, and things of that nature. And I feel like being I'm a minority on staff, I feel like part of me has to bear that burden, but it's not really a burden that I'm like, man, this sucks to bear, but I'm actually thankful that I get to bear this burden. And I think it'd be so cool to see just like leaders like raised up, and so we can just reach more ethnic groups in Twin Cities, because the Twin Cities is so diverse, and you see it like all around our campuses and things of that nature. And it'd be so cool to just see the Lord just raise up laborers to reach more and more people. And so that's what I'm excited for. And kind of like Owen as well, with these smaller campuses, it's so cool to see like leaders raised at like McAllister. Like we'll have a men's group at Hamlin, or like we'll have a group at like North Central, and it's super cool just to see like there's just one leader being raised up, and it's like, well, that's like so much like gospel opportunity there. And so yeah, I'm super excited for that, and praying for more of that, and praying that like our leader core of like a small school can like not necessarily rival, but like be similar in number to like our St. Thomas like leader groups, and and like the University of Minnesota. So I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, man, it's great. Jacob?
I think even more than just like the numbers, right? Because you could say like, our biggest goal is to reach 2,000 college students, on a weekly basis in the Twin Cities. But I think just like the depth of a person that's like coming into our ministry as a freshman and then leaves as a senior is what really gets me passionate of like, who are the men and women that we're sending out of Salt Company if they've been with us for 4 years? And I mean, I think back to some of the seniors, people that you've now directed for 4 years, send them off just being so emotional, proud like a dad of, like, man, I remember you were a rascal. But then to just see like mature men and women leaving our ministry who are going to be great fathers, great wives, great employees, great friends, great members of churches. And I think the thing that gets me the most fired up is, I'm thinking of guys like Brady Sarr, who like in D group, I had him 2 years ago, and it's like, okay, like he's like saved and like he's got some sin to him, and you can be a little immature at times, but then to see him like love the St. Thomas baseball club team so well, to the point where like new guys are being raised up and joining our leadership team, and then for him to be sent out of our ministry as a senior this year as a guy who loves Jesus, who I'm like super confident is going to be plugged in at a church, member for a long time, and like maybe he's never going to be an elder of a church, but like I'm very confident he's going to be like an elder qualified man. And the thing that gets me so passionate is knowing that like God is changing lives radically. I mean, both you and me, we were kind of crazy our freshman year, and God pulled us out of a lot of sin. And it just makes me really passionate to continue revealing the good news of Jesus to people who are far from him, but then also like being with them as they look more and more like him throughout their years in our ministry.
Totally. Man, okay, let's double click on that, because part of what this podcast is helpful for is talking about the connection between Salt Company as a college ministry
Mm-hmm.
and why it is not just a standalone thing off to the side, but it is vitally attached to the local church. And that's the model for salt companies across the nation, is that we're a part of this network called the Salt Network, and all of the churches that comprise the Salt Network have salt companies attached to them. So each of these churches are elder-led locally, but then kind of we share this vision of reaching the college students in that city. And so for us, that means we're reaching over a dozen universities and colleges, right? And we've got this college ministry that we're gathering on Thursday nights to preach the gospel. We got these small groups and everything, but it's not this standalone thing. We want it to be vitally attached to the local church. How have you, I mean, you said it a little bit, Jacob, but how would you guys, how have you guys seen Salt Company not just care for college students as their college students, but then set them up for and plug them into the local church for the rest of their life? This could be, I mean, maybe you even talk about this like for your own life and how Salt Company taught you about what does it look like to belong to the local church.
I feel like for me, it was through serving opportunities back home at Salt Church in Gainesville, and being able to meet people in the community that way. We also did like men's breakfast, in the morning. And so students were encouraged to go to those. And so you'd sit at a table with like your friends, but then also like with a community member, just to be able to know like somebody in the community. And I feel like that was super helpful for me to see like, yeah, I know sometimes it feels like your Salt Network church is just a student church, but there's more people there. And so it's good to meet some old heads per se, in the church. But I think that's so fruitful, and just like having opportunities for our students to meet our community outside like a Sunday has been super helpful for me, because sometimes I feel like it might be maybe a little daunting for our students to want to go up to community members and be like, hey, I'm a student, or like I want to learn from you and gain knowledge from you and stuff like that. So for me, it's been helpful when Salt Companies helped to just bridge that gap for me. And I formed some pretty fruitful relationships as a result of that. So,
something I've been really appreciative of is like the Redemption men's and women's that we've had, and seeing the small group of guys that are from our college ministry up at 6 a.m. with the other dads and grandpas in the room.
Totally, man.
Watching them like being able to interact with guys who've been following Jesus for a really long time is young, essentially boys that want to be men of God, almost kind of looking at their idols, speaking to them, and them just saying like, I got really mad at my wife today, and like just wearing their sin as well. Like, I don't know, stuff like that. And then I remember in college, serving was huge for me in kids ministries and parking team, and just seeing like how Christians acted kind of outside of college. What does it look like to follow Jesus for the rest of your life, not just inside of college? So I think
that's cool.
I mean, even for our students right now, it's like Redemption men and women, like getting in those rooms as much as possible, and then serving with older people is a great way to kind of view how to love Jesus long term and not just in college.
That's cool. I feel like it's the difference between just consuming church and actually like belonging to this people and contributing, I think that's a thing that I dream of with Salt Company, is that in an age where it's really easy to just take in a bunch of content and kind of view church as a product to consume, that one of my prayers for Salt Company is that the students would see the church not as a product to consume, but a people to belong to and to commit to. And I think that's why, both of you guys saying serving is such a huge thing, because if it's just a product, you don't contribute yourself. You just take it in. But when you're,
which that just allows you to just get let down all the time, right? Like,
totally.
Redemption isn't perfect because they haven't met every single one of my needs, and it's like, you're right. Like,
totally,
we're not going to.
I think it's a saying passed down from Drew Stevenson to me, but he got it from Mark Arendt, I believe, he said, if you want it, bring it. This
Mhm.
idea that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just it, dude. If church is just a product, you're going to wait for it to satisfy you versus,
Yeah.
okay, I'm seeing this thing that isn't quite how I would want it to be. How can I provide some sort of solution, or at least ask good questions, or make an effort to provide what I'm seeing missing? I think that's some secret sauce that members of a church need to have like deep in their bones, but they only get that. And I only really started to see that when I stopped viewing church as like a product and more about like, oh, these are people that I'm called to belong to serve, to love, and to invest in. And so, yeah. How about you,
And,
Owen?
well, yeah, and that like can only really happen when you do stick around or when you do like commit to a church.
Yeah.
You know, like I had my bachelor party this weekend and we finished it up just at church on Sunday morning. And I'm just like,
Dang, that's cool.
next to all my friends that like we pretty much all of my groomsmen and ushers were either college roommates or we were in a D group together or just like friends that I met through Salt Company. And I'm just like getting so emotional because it's like, these are the guys that have helped me through the last like 4 or 5 years of college and now post grad, but will continue to be a part of my life for a really long time, no matter distances between us or like different responsibilities, because the time that we got together in college where we didn't have a lot of responsibility was spent really well. And so I think I'm seeing now like the decisions that I was like prompted to make by Austin a lot, but like ultimately by the Holy Spirit to like really develop gospel-centered friendships has really carried on to like post-grad life, about to be married. What does it look like to be a part of something? Because then you see past all the flaws of a church and you see the actual people that are a part of it, and it becomes less of a thing that you do. We say this all the time. We've said it already in this podcast, but a people to belong to.
Yeah.
And like when you belong to a people, there's hurt, there's suffering, there's conflict, there's pain, but there's also rejoicing and conflict resolution and deepening of friendships. And so I think that has been the biggest part of me from like how Salt Company and the local church really go hand in hand, is because Salt Company is kind of practice to be a part of the local church. But you just have a lot more time in college. So you get to develop these rhythms and habits and structures that really help you develop kind of the muscles to be a really strong member of a local church.
Totally, bro. I remember being in college thinking about like my homework. And I'm like, I have so much responsibility. Like, this is so hard. And then like step by step, now I'm 27, a dad, a husband, homeowner, it's like
Owner of a farm.
Yeah, so the Miller Farm, yep. It's in full swing right now, guys. We're averaging 4 eggs a day for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's amazing. But anyway, I do feel like, I just resonate with what you said, Owen. So thankful for the people speaking into my life that were a season ahead of me when I was in college to say, hey, Austin, actually, you don't have that much responsibility right now. Chill out, enjoy the freedom you have, invest in those friendships. It's going to pay off when you do have some more substantial responsibility. But Owen, as you were sharing, it just reminded me of our series in 1 Thessalonians that we did in spring semester. And that was one of my favorite that we've done. I just love walking through an epistle with Salt Company, but this verse has continued to come back to me as almost like a theme verse for like, what are we trying to do with Salt Company? And it's from this 1 Thessalonians 2 verse 8. So being affectionately desirous of you, we were ready to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you had become very dear to us. And I just love thinking about how that is happening, and by God's grace will continue to happen. That we're not just doing gospel ministry as if we're trying to like transfer information, but we're trying to share our lives with each other and help college students do the same thing so that can prepare them for the next phase of life. And yeah, honored to be able to do that. But okay, here's what we should talk about. If somebody was, just a member of Redemption Church and they're like, oh, this is cool that I'm hearing about Jacob and Owen and Alan on the podcast, but like, where could I meet these folks in person? Where could I shake Owen's 4-fingered hand, like in real life?
It is different.
It is a different experience.
It might throw you off. I'm not gonna lie.
Usually people like shake it and then they just like glance down to see what happened, and then they make eye contact again. And sometimes I'll just like look them in the eye and say, "Yeah, I have 4 fingers," and it makes for the most awkward.
It's amazing, dude.
It is kind of funny. It's
exchanges.
on your right hand of all,
Yeah.
the 2 hands. It's the one that you use to greet people. So it's just an
Yeah.
immediate knowledge.
Oh yeah, it's fun though. I mean, and then sometimes I'll make up a story or something, But it was a surgical thing, so
Everything's
if I tell
okay.
you anything other than that,
Freak accident.
It's just a joke. Yeah.
But where could people
yeah.
find you? Like on a
Mhm.
Sunday morning, for example, where could people find you if they wanted to chat it up?
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the info desk a handful of times a month.
So 4 times a month.
Sorry, dude.
That's
jokes.
perfect.
That's so
That's
good.
perfect.
See, that's the jokes.
Anyway.
That's really good. Yeah.
You're at the info desk. That's
yeah.
great.
I'm at the info desk. I'm on parking team sometimes.
Cool.
Hey, shout out Parkinson.
But I'm usually just like
Yeah.
hanging out, talking to people. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
just interrupt me because I'm easily like turning from one conversation to another, which sometimes is not a very good thing. But
That's the
Yeah.
tension.
I'll do that,
That's the
though,
tension of
sometimes,
the
you know?
Sunday morning
Yeah.
experience, dude.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But great. Info desk. How about you, Alan? Where are you at?
Parking team. You might see me swirling my baton around.
Totally.
8:15. Yep.
At 8:15. Yeah, shout out that. Or on welcome team. So
Nice.
usually on the doors, or I don't know where I'm looking at, but usually on the doors or in the front of the entrance. So you'll see me there. But I'm also like Owen, kind of going around everywhere, like a dude at homecoming who goes to 3 different dance circles. That's me on a Sunday. So
Do you
fun.
dance on a Sunday morning?
sometimes I do. Yeah.
I guess you twirl the baton, like the parking
Yeah.
team baton.
you got to get creative with it, man.
You dance a lot on
but-
Thursdays, though.
Yeah. Well, let me say
I be
this.
dancing.
Alan is absolutely the most skilled and elegant dancer of the
100%.
Salt Company. staff.
Elegant. That's a word.
Yeah. I mean, you just make everything look so natural, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Gifted in dancing.
We could have him bust a move right now.
I know. We got video capabilities here.
Whip.
Oh, it's true.
He's also a great wedding DJ if you need it.
Wow.
Yeah, if you need a wedding
facts.
DJ,
Come on now.
I've only done one. Hey, shout out the Eberhards.
Points to the camera. Amazing.
Everyone getting a shout out.
Everybody getting shout out today.
That's great. Jacob, where are you at on
I'm at-
Sunday?
I'm at the cafe all the time.
Jacob's a big coffee guy.
Coffee
this
boy.
is okay. So this is hence the nickname Christian Man. Jacob is all things that you want in a Christian man.
Something like that.
But he's married though.
Yep. Sorry.
Apologizes. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Coffee, CrossFit,
Yep.
Bible. What else?
Meat.
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 Yeah.
What about
He's
meat?
also trying to help other people become Christian men. He got me a meat thermometer for
I
Christmas.
did. That was really funny. Have you used it?
Discipleship, bro.
That's discipleship. Get each other meat thermometers.
Yeah.
Mm,
Nice.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love coffee. Coffee's great. I have opinions about coffee.
It really does.
I roast my own coffee. That's kind of fun. No, find me at the cafe
Yeah.
Yeah.
or at the CrossFit gym.
Wow.
He gonna tear you up at that gym, bro. Troy.
Have you've been there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a
Alan's been
workout.
there.
How would you describe the CrossFit experience as an outsider?
That jump was wild. I'm not gonna lie. Almost died, but God. So
Totally.
it was super cool, and it was fun to see
See?
Jacob in his element. You
Yeah,
know, everybody
yeah.
know Jacob. He's like Jacob's telling us like this is that person. That person's really strong.
Yeah.
It's like some like 5'5" dude who's like probably 200 pounds. And Jay was like, yeah, that's the guy. That guy's a pastor at a different church.
Let's
but
go.
overall,
Yeah,
it's a
dog.
great experience. I feel like everybody should
Well-
try it, but just go in with like the expectation, like you might just like your body just might like.
Oh,
feel
you totally will.
Yeah.
My first workout was a partner workout, and I was with a guy w'd been doing CrossFit for like 7 years, and it was like a you go, I go. So we had to do 100 push-ups at one point, and he would do 10, then I would do 10 very slow push-ups. And I remember that first day, I sat with my seat reclined in my car for like 20 minutes because I was so dizzy. Like,
Oh, no.
I sucked
from the
at
push-ups.
CrossFit. Yeah, I mean, I was and then we did other stuff too.
Okay, I
But
was like, how do you get dizzy from push-ups, bro?
I don't know.
You
It's
flip it and
CrossFit.
tumble it? Apologies.
Oh my goodness. All right. So if Jacob's kind of sphere, if his element is CrossFit,
Mhm.
Owen, where would you describe, kind of outside of church life? Where's your element? Like, where can people find you where you're thriving?
A basketball court or a
That's
golf
true.
course.
Yep.
Yeah. Or in front of a TV watching either of those.
Nice.
Big Timberwolves fan. So if you
Let's
want
go
to talk to me about the
Wolves.
Wolves,
Mhm.
Before this podcast started, we had to train ourselves or discipline ourselves to make sure we didn't turn this only into like a basketball
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, it was a good clarifier.
But yeah, he loves the Wolves.
Yeah.
It's great. We are excited about the NBA Finals coming up.
Yeah, we are.
We really are.
Go Knicks.
Hey
Thanks.
there.
Yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns. We'll be excited for the guy if he gets a title for sure.
Yeah. It'd be a miracle though.
Hey, I know
It
God.
would be. Alan, where's your like thriving zone outside of church life?
I be dancing.
Like
Where you be
line
dancing,
dancing,
I
right?
love going line dancing.
Yeah, man.
I do not like country music, but I will dance to it.
You got some boots.
I do have some boots. Shout out Boot Factory Outlet. And you might see me on the soccer field as well. I just had my men's league game yesterday. We won 1-0.
Hey.
I
That's
love-
big time, dude.
I love playing soccer. I'm a very average soccer player, but it gets me my cardio that the doctor told me to get. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I watched Alan run one time. You raced Tom
quick.
Cow on
He
a
is really
track,
fast.
shout out
and you
Tomko.
looked like a gazelle, bro. The way you were pumping those knees, that was amazing. That was amazing. Alan's a fast man.
He is fast.
Yeah, it's great.
Austin, where are you gonna be?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
do
where
you
you
do for
at?
fun?
Oh yeah. Well, these days, just working on the farm.
You have 4 chickens,
South
Austin.
Minneapolis farm.
South Minneapolis farm.
Working on the farm, man.
No. I would say the things that I love to do outside of work and whatnot are I also love playing basketball.
Mhm.
I love to play the drums, and I love traveling with my wife. That's one thing that we have really enjoyed about being married is going traveling. So we've been to a couple different countries, and we like hiking. We like enjoying the outdoors. One of my famous stories is that I proposed to Cora after we were camping. She brought her paddleboard with, and we paddleboarded across this lake. And as we were paddleboarding across, then she started to see this beautiful picnic set up on the
You
on
had the
coast.
ring on the paddleboard?
I did not.
Okay.
The strategy was I had one of my good friends set up the picnic display with the ring there,
Nice.
so that when we docked, then we got off the paddleboard, and then that's where I popped the question. But we love being outside. Love paddleboarding. It's
Mhm.
great. We love summers in the Twin Cities.
Yeah,
it's
we
just
do.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect time to be outside and do all the things. Well, okay. I feel like this has been a great episode, and now we're starting to just
Candy aisle.
just candy aisle, only candy aisle. But here's how we should end. Does anybody have just like a benediction, a good word to leave us with after what we've talked about, and then we'll say goodbye to the podcast.
I think we've talked a lot about the importance of community and gospel-centered friendships.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I've been really sitting on lately.
Mhm.
Wow.
And I even said this yesterday at staff lunch, but I think sometimes we think of God so big picture, so cosmically, he created the world. He's the savior of the world. But he really does care about our friends, and he places people in our
Yeah.
lives
Mm.
to love on us and to care for us and to walk through difficult seasons of life with. And so I just know that you guys have been a part of that for me, and so many members of our church have been that in my life. And so I feel like that's just honestly like one of the goals of Salt Company. But also like obviously Redemption really cares about friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and so does God. Like we care about it because God cares about it. So
Man. And what a great friend that we have in Jesus. You
Come
know,
on.
Amen.
the greatest friend is the one who would lay down his life
Yeah.
for us, and that's what Jesus did.
yeah.
He's our good friend. Man, this has been a great conversation. I'm thankful we got to do this. Hopefully, if you're listening, you feel like you know us a little bit better because of it, and we'll plan to see you on a Sunday, maybe at the cafe, maybe
Come
at
on.
Parking Team, or maybe dancing
they'll
in
see
the
us.
lobby.
8:15. It is the Salt Company boys at 8:15.
We
service.
love
Not so
that.
much in the summer though.
2 services.
Yeah, 2 summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 services.
But thanks for joining us. You got to meet the staff, the local church, a great place to find
Yeah.
friends. We'll see you guys later. Peace.